music thing.
Okay, we're back. We're live. We're Think Tech Talks here on a given Wednesday. Community matters because it does. And we're talking about beauty under the pines today. And let me explain what that is. The pines have to be the pines in Dole Square in Lanai because, you know, today is Portraits of Lanai, as always. And we have Alberta DeJetley, our lady about town in Lanai, and her guest, Mimi Evangelista, who runs a company called Mimi's Place Salon and Spa. Take it away, Alberta. Let's meet Mimi.
Hi, Jay. It's such a great afternoon on Lanai, but they're predicting rain tomorrow. But right now we're nice and sunny here, and I just have this wonderful guest here with me today. You know, Lanai has a number of really strong women. And in this case, we have a really strong lady in a really tiny package. Minnie, tell me how tall you are.
I am 5 foot.
And would you mind sharing how much you weigh?
I'm 113 pounds.
So you got this 113-pound dynamo, Mimi Evangelista, who has this wonderful business that she started here on Lanai. And, you know, when Mimi first started coming to Lanai, you were coming to take care of the guests down at the hotel. So
Yes.
Can you tell us, how did this all evolve, where you started to come here and then how you actually ended up living here?
Okay, it was March of '05, and I was very big on Maui doing my brides and wedding parties, special occasions, and we also did a lot of celebrities. And I advertised in the time in a magazine called Pacific Rim. And an incredible coordinator from Oahu had called me, Christy, and she said, Mimi, could you help us? We have a party of 8 at Manili Bay and we need assistance. And at the time, they were just rebranding Four Seasons. And I said, yes, I'd love to, but how do I get to Lanai? And because I would always point it out to my guests, oh, that's Molokai, that's Lanai, that's the Pineapple Island. So she said, okay, you go down to HAWAIIAN, you get on the ferry. So I came over and it was instant. And I think with Lanai, either you get Lanai or you don't. And the minute I walked off the boat, I was like, I can't believe I haven't been here. Then they took me up to the hotel. And I worked in this incredible suite overlooking the pool and had the most gracious clients. So then after that, I was smitten and wanted to come back. And I contacted the coordinators and introduced my services and gave them my menu. And they started to invite me back on a regular basis for wedding parties and brides and things. And that's kind of how I got connected. Then they wanted me to work in their spa. And that's kind of how it happened. That's how I came to Lanai.
So when they were having you come over to Lanai, did you get to stay at the hotel as a guest too?
Yes, I got to stay at COOKE, which was a dream absolute come true. And I used to try to find reasons to come here, to come to work. And I had my business on Maui, of course, but I kept coming. And on one of my visits, I had just refinanced my condo, and my broker, who was also my friend, said, let's look for an investment property. And I was looking on Maui, and I happened to be here one weekend, and I found a beautiful home. And my idea at the time, I was 35. I said at 55, I'm going to come to Lanai and retire permanently. So I bought my house for investment, and my whole goal was to go ahead and renovate the garage to turn it into a studio loft apartment. And that came to fruition, of course, by the grace of God. And I was going to stay in the weekends, and then they just started having me work at the Four Seasons, and then they made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So I left my business on Maui and brought my children over, and here I am today.
So you were a single mom when you moved over to Lanai?
I was a single mom. My oldest was 15, my middle boy was 10, and my baby was 1 month old.
You know, teenagers are really hard to transplant. So
Yes.
what was that like?
It was kind of mixed reviews. You know, they liked it, they didn't like it. You know, they're Maui born and raised. So Kihei side is where their home was. So they kind of had a hard time acclimating, but my oldest boy, Nicholas, is a spear fisherman. So he kind of looks Portuguese. So he got in really great with everybody. And my middle boy, he found a really great friend.
Oh, that's really good. You know, it's living on Lanai. The school is so close. All the businesses are so close. So if you're a single parent, it really makes it easy because you're
safe.
what? From Manili to
Yes.
the school, it's about 20 minutes. So if there's an emergency and the school calls you, you can be there in 25 minutes,
Oh, yes.
which is a lot better than, say, working in PA and living up country. The distances are greater.
Yes.
Didn't you, before you came to Lanai, didn't you also have a little spot, nail place?
Yes,
in
I did.
Hawaii?
I had two locations. From, let's see here, from 93 to about 03 to 05, I had Natural Nails by Mimi at Root Salon in Kihei.
Uh-huh.
So we had a group of gals that we would accommodate the kama'aina. And then, of course, we would do our on-site for mani and pedis. A couple of years later, we opened up a little studio at the salon, and we serviced the upcountry clientele, which was really great.
Oh, that's good.
Then I worked in a beautiful, incredible old plantation home that was restored, and that's kind of how I got my idea for Mimi's place. I kind of, picked and chose, and it all just kind of fell into place.
Well, I know Mimi's Place, they just, it's space on Lanai, commercial space is so tight and it's so difficult to find anything. So how did that all happen? I mean, the building that you're in now used to be a sportsman's bar, and it was run by this lady named Maggie Nunutani. I still remember her from when I was a child, but she was, really petite, as small as you. And she ran this bar for years, and it was the only local bar in town. But that building's been abandoned for a long, long time.
Yes.
And I think at another time, it used to be a drop-off for photos, in the old days when people used film.
Yes.
You could drop off your film to be developed there. And then I think it had another incarnation as a place for teenagers to hang out with pinball machines. But it was empty for years and years. So how did you luck onto this space?
But by the grace of God, a couple of years ago, actually it was a work in progress. I think it was I started working on my business plan with Greg Cohen, who is the absolute ultimate in every way, shape, and form. Computers and graphics, and of course also in helping me accomplish my business plan. It took us about 2 years, and I had worked in the location in 07, 08, and they had shut it down because at the time they were thinking, remember?
Yeah.
They were thinking of the Richard supermarket. That was
right.
going to be the mall strip
Right,
area.
that was going to be a commercial area for Castle and Cooke. They were going to build a brand new shopping plaza with a big grocery store.
Yes.
And unfortunately for them, those plans didn't pan through.
Yes.
But very fortunately for you, that's where you are now. So what happened then?
Well, and then I was told that the Maui Economic Opportunity there was a $1 million fund put away just for Lanai residents. And I had contacted Castle and Cooke at the time and had dropped off my business plan and proposed that would be my location. And it was kind of a stressful, hectic time because someone else at the time was looking into it, but I was granted the space, and we started our renovations. I think it took maybe 3 to 4 months to get it up and running, but we're definitely a work in progress.
3 to 4 months on Lanai is really fast. It's usually like 3 to 4 years. Not quite that bad, but it's hard to get things done.
Yes, very true.
So
it was a very interesting process, but we made it and we did it, and it's still we're a work in progress. Every day we're just, okay, what's next? What do we need to do? How can we better ourselves?
Jay, this shop Mimi's Place is so cute because the building was pretty much a disaster when she went into it. Low ceilings, really awful, and she had to drywall all of the walls, put in new bathrooms, pretty much put in new everything. Mm. And now it's you have 2 massage rooms?
We have 2 massage rooms. It's 1,200 square foot. I think it was probably built in the 20s.
Yeah,
it's sold. We have 1 bathroom. We have the manicure pedicure area. When you first walk in, we have the reception sitting area. We have, in the back of the building, we have 2 massage rooms. We have 1 for couples. We have 1 for singles, and we can convert the single room into our esthetician facial waxing room. Then all the way at the north end of the salon, we just put in a new hair room because we have some incredible hairdressers that come, and we decided we needed a place with more privacy for our ladies to get colored and cut and crimped and all that good stuff. So we're definitely a work in progress still. It's spacious. When I first finished it, I wanted to move into it. I thought, oh my God, I want to be in here.
Yeah, she has beautiful, beautiful, it's your own color, right?
Yes, for my house on Maui, it's kind of like a butterscotch. I created it. My house is that color, and now the salon is that color. It's just warm, it's cozy, it's inviting. When you come into the left side, we have a gallery wall, and we have all of the incredible local talent. Ron Gingrich, we have his incredible work. So when people are sitting having their mani-pedi or getting their hair done, they're overlooking just this incredible artwork. We also showcase a lot of the local vendors. We have Ashley, speaking of it, I have some jewelry of hers. Mind of Ash, and Ashley uses everything from Lanai. She goes to all the beaches, she tries to find the rare stones, she uses the shells, and her work is just delicate, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous.
Where did Ashley come from? I mean,
I think Ashley has been on the island for 18 years. Her mom and dad.
18 years?
Yes, a long while. Nice family. They just moved back, or her mom and dad just moved back.
Oh, okay. Okay. She's been here. She's come and gone.
Gone.
Did she grow up on Lanai?
I don't think so, because maybe she came when she was a teenager.
Oh, yeah. We have so many Lanai people who grew up here and who are slowly finding their way back home. It's really, really nice. What's this piece?
This is what Ashley calls, and of course I can't see, so let me put my glasses on. This is called Sun-Kissed Beach, and these are Lanai coral shells. They're hand-picked, and they're plated, they're gold-plated actually, so, I mean, absolutely beautiful. So we have really incredible, delicate, locally inspired, that's the most important thing, just to showcase our people that live Lanai. We also have another incredible artist. Her name is Alicia Blackwell, and she does.
If you hold it.
Yes, she does weavings.
Talk about it.
If you come into the salon and spa, she everywhere are these beautiful, delicate. Her company is Earth Inspired Weavings, and she took them the other day to go do a show, and I felt like my shop was empty, and I was naked. I love these. This is called Ka'anapali Palm Tree, and these are just beautiful and delicate and great pieces for my salon and to your home.
What's this? She's hung it on a piece of palm?
A piece of palm, and she gets everything from Lanai. She also has a lot of shells that have stones. She uses everything that's locally inspired.
Oh, here. We actually have it backwards. Shame on us. Look.
Oh, here we go. Now we can show the shells.
Now we can show the room. Sorry, Alicia, if you're watching this or you saw it, but luckily we found it.
Yes, see what happens when you don't wear your glasses.
I don't have my glasses on either.
She's got some great colors, and it's the ocean in the backdrop, and I just love her. It's just
I run the thrift shop for Lanai Animal Rescue Center, and we have all these things coming in, and lots and lots of old T-shirts. So I asked Alicia if she could make, remember the old-fashioned rag rugs?
Yes.
Alicia, on her womb, we took the rags, the cotton T-shirts,
yes,
cut them into strips, and then she put them on and wove them. And they were really beautiful, but when we priced them out, it was $75 for a rag rug. So we thought, no, scratch that. We can't do this.
Oh my.
But we were hoping that we could, maybe create some kind of cottage industry for, stay-at-home moms where they could strip out these T-shirts.
Yes.
So if anybody out there has a good idea for old T-shirts, call us up.
Yes, let's recycle. For sure.
Yeah, let's recycle.
Well, that's the thing, in the neighbor islands, it's always a combination of businesses. It's multiple functions. It's whatever the community wants to get, you provide it to them. And that's the magic of small businesses on the neighbor islands. And you got to give credit to the people who get into small businesses, because they're so flexible, and they can figure out what's necessary and how to provide whatever whatever you need to provide. So sounds like a very interesting business. And I wonder how much of your trade is the tourist trade, and how much of your trade is the local trade, because I would imagine the culture on Lanai doesn't necessarily call for a salon and spa. The hotel trade, the whole hotel traffic would do that, but not necessarily the local people. So what's the percentage on that, Mimi?
I would say about 80% is Kama'aina, because that's the intention and that's our mission statement. I've lived Lanai almost 10 years, and I've never worked as hard in my life as here. I've never made as much money either as on this island. Mm-hmm. And my intention was I wanted to create a space and an environment where people like me, people like our Kama'aina, the people that work 7,000 jobs, never get a day off, could actually come and afford a place where they could be pampered, where they could get their hair done.
Pamper is good.
And that is what I focus on. That's my goal. So it's almost like we are educating. We're kind of training people on how do you take care of yourself, self-care, because it's about how you feel, not so much about how you look. And so we call people back on certain every 6 weeks for hair.
You remind them.
Yes, yeah. And we do lots of different specials. We do events on a regular basis, so all services go half off. We do mini mani-pedis, $1 a minute massage. We try to bring in local people again.
Do I hear the word Kama'aina rates there and there somewhere?
Yes, to the max. We do. We have Kama'aina, and yes, specially tailored just for our Kama'aina.
Okay, we'll take a short break. That's Mimi Evangelista with Alberta DeJetley, our journalist and farmer and lady about town in Lanai. We're doing portraits of Lanai, and Mimi is one of the portraits, specifically Beauty Under the Pines. This is Think Tech Talks. We'll take a minute. We'll be right back. Aloha, I'm Jay Fidel. This is Think Tech Hawaii, broadcasting live from the Pioneer Plaza in downtown Honolulu. We raise public awareness about tech, energy, and globalism in Hawaii. Technology is critical to our state. A vibrant tech sector will give us new prospects in the global marketplace and will offer great careers and make our economy more resilient. Streaming live on Ustream and Spreaker, ThinkTech allows its hosts and guests invaluable opportunities to report important events and discuss important questions, and to be heard here in Hawaii and around the world. You can find links to our live streams on thinktechhawaii.com or on our mobile website, m.thinktechhawaii.com. And you can see our archive on YouTube. It's all just a click away. We want to do whatever we can to keep Hawaii relevant, connected, and thriving in the complexity of the 21st century. We hope you will help us in those efforts. Tune in today. This is ThinkTech. I'm Jay Fidel. We're back. ThinkTech Talks. We're talking about community matters. We're talking about portraits of Lanai, Beauty Under the Pines in Dole Square, with Mimi Evangelista, who runs Mimi's Place Salon and Spa right there on Lanai, with Alberta DeJetley, our host, our lady about town in Lanai City, exposing all these portraits of Lanai, making us understand, right down to our boots, what life is like in Lanai. And it's a great gift. Thank you, Alberta.
Oh, Jay, before we went on break, you were talking about the mix of customers. And I think that was in Mimi's, when she had to do her business plan. The business plan included mission statement. So your mission statement was to
really focus on the people of the island, the people of Lanai, the Kama'aina, and was to create, specialty treatment services that tailor to them price-wise, and we would make this as available to them as we could. We do Yelp. We're on there most of the time, obviously, when we get great reviews, which is most of the time. We do have a website, mimislanaispa.com. Facebook is something that's very important in keeping with the Kama'aina, so that I can showcase and also let people know when we have specialized vendors coming in. We import a lot of our hairdressers. We've got 4 incredible hairdressers. We have one that comes from the Grand Wailea, and she is actually a celebrity stylist right now. She's not on the road with her, with the lady that she usually tours with. So she gives us about 3 days a month. We have another gal that comes from HAWAIIAN who specializes in perms and cuts and colors. We have another gal that we pull from the west side who does a lot of skincare and is very specialized in cuts. We're just blessed. We have just so much talent, and I'm so blessed, appreciative, and thankful that we're able to give it to the people. The people of Lanai, again, like I said, are probably the hardest working, and they give their heart, and they just go, and they do, and they do. So it's so nice to be able to have them come and then be refreshed, be renewed, because they're pretty much they're the ambassadors of Lanai. They're usually the first person you see when they come to the hotel. They're always helping the visitor, and it's nice for them just to kind of get transformed and enjoy what we can give to them. So that is really the utmost importance for me in these places, to take care of our people.
You know, Jack, I have a real big confession to make. I don't know if it's just a local thing because I'm a local girl at heart or what, but I never had a pedicure until Mimi came to Lanai. And I won't tell you how old, I won't tell our audience how old I actually am. But, you know, I had never had a pedicure. All these years, I've been in the hotel business, I've been in public, done all kinds of things, but I never actually had a pedicure until Mimi came to town.
Yes.
And you know, maybe you can tell our audience why it's so important to have your pedicures, your toenails done regularly, especially if
Yes.
you're diabetic.
Well, the feet are our grounding. That's the foundation of our body. And we have about 3,000 nerve endings in our feet. So when they don't feel good, we don't feel good. We live in sandals. I always say Hawaii is land of sandals. When I started my business on Maui back in '92, that was the theme. And it was about the care and maintenance. You know, the heels, our heels get overgrown because we're Hawaii. We just walk barefoot everywhere. But they're almost like an accessory too, because it's like jewelry. You want them to be pretty because they're dressed up in sandals. Then we have God bless our diabetic people, who can't feel, who don't have circulation from usually their knee down to their toe. So when they come in once a month, we can kind of inspect. We can make sure, okay, your toes are growing okay, you don't have anything in your foot. And I have a lot of diabetic clients that come to me just so we can get that circulation pumping, just so we can make sure the toes are, plus it feels good. It's probably one of the nicest things that you can do for yourself. Speaking of that, we do have a kapuna rate.
Oh.
Right? And we introduced this 8 months ago, and we offer pedicures, $10, 65 and over.
Wow.
Manicures, $10, 65 and over, and haircuts for $15. We want to take care of the kapuna. Again, it's a nice way to give back to the community, to say thank you, and it's a day out for our kapuna. They get to come and they feel good. Like tomorrow, I have about 5 kapuna coming in. And they're all getting together. They know they're coming. One of the aunties is bringing, some local plates and some fun meals. That's what we do at Mimi's Place. We have fun. It's everybody comes in. We talk story. We always try to. When Alberta first came to my shop, I had my shop in my master bedroom on the side of my house. Of course, I was waiting to get my salon. And Alberta had never had. I said, Alberta, you have to let me give you a pedicure. So she came in. I had the candles, the incense. I had made her some banana bread. She had some
With my bananas. Of
course, with Alberta's bananas. And she was in heaven. And Alberta would come in. It was something that I know she looked forward to because I know she felt good. And we did it again today. We had a great time.
It's my little treat to myself now.
Yes.
But and the thing is too, she's a traveling manicurist because a few months ago, my whole family from Kauai and from Oahu came, and we have I have all these little cute grandnieces from Kauai, and I asked Mimi if she could do manicures for all of us before the wedding, and she said, sure, I can do this. And we this fabulous vacation rental by owner down by across from the fire station.
Yes.
And Mimi came with her box of goodies, and the girls just loved it. They just absolutely loved it.
They were little princesses. We had every color out on the table and we had a blast. That was like stepping back into what I used to do. That's what I love to do, is to sit home and make
Yeah, I knew them all boys.
Yes, I have all boys and no one to make more beautiful, so it was nice.
Yeah, but a lot of men, I've noticed sometimes when I go in to see you, you have a lot of men coming into your salon now.
Yeah, we do, and I think at first our men are they're a little bit shy. You know, they think, oh, this is a macho thing, but once they get in there and they start to feel the relaxation, they're hooked. So it's a great thing. Not only, you know, the pedicure, but they get the massage with it too, and then they feel good.
Yeah, and you know what? Mimi's business is located right across the street from Howard's coffee works, so they can go and get a cup of coffee, they can go get espresso or whatever, and then sit there before their appointment or after their appointment with you.
That's right.
So it all sort of all works together, doesn't it? The way everybody's business impacts another business.
Yes.
It's really, really great. One of the things that is happening now too is you have a new masseuse, don't you? You want to talk about it?
Yes, I do. Probably about a month and a half ago, we were again so blessed to be able to welcome Calais, Charles Robinson. He's from Maui. He recently moved here with his wife, Malia, and she heads MCC, the university here.
UH Maui.
Yes.
She's part of the UH Maui college.
Yes.
And her responsibility on Lanai is to develop programs for students.
That's right.
And we have a lot more programs coming down the pipe too now.
Pretty incredible. What a gift, a blessing to have both these guys. And Calais also works with Keola.
Kealoha, which
Yes.
is the Native Hawaiian
Yes.
healthcare systems. On Lanai, it's called Kealoha, and they do an excellent job.
So he's definitely a servant, and he's always about giving back to the community. And he is been doing this for about 20 years, and he's a master in all different modalities. He's a lifelong student, as he would say. And I have seen people come out of having massage and work with him just refreshed and renewed. He's definitely a diamond. We're very blessed to have him.
Yeah, I've got this thing from your shop, but I can't read it because I don't have my glasses
Sure.
on. And it tells exactly what types of
Okay.
different.
So here is exactly
specialties he
what
does.
Clay does. He is a student of advanced biostructural correction, so he gets to straighten your body out. Craniosacral therapy, which is really healing work, energy work. Myofascial alignment, which is the layers on top of your skin. Orthopedic massage, neuromuscular therapy, trigger point, shiatsu, reflexology, Swedish Lomi, of course, soul mind science and massage, and message energy matter theory. So again, beyond our wildest dreams to have someone like this in our shop.
You know, I think a lot of people, they like both male, you have preferences of to have
Yes.
a male or a female masseuse. But, and for myself, I don't particularly care for massage because I don't really like people touching me. I have to get over that.
Yes, right. Yeah.
But with someone like Calais, you know, he is just so nice that you can't help but turn your whole body over to him.
It's very true. He has a demeanor that it's like your best friend, and he's a very soothing personality. And I always say about Clay, he's got eyes on his fingers. They know where to go, and he's a healer in the absolute utmost sense.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
I wonder where this puts you, Mimi, in terms of dealing with, you know, the people on Lanai. It's a small town,
Yes.
and you probably have a trade that you know, that introduces you to a lot of people, not only in the hotels but in the community. And so you walk down the street and they say hi, and you look at their feet and they say, "Why are you looking at my feet?" and so you know them. You know, you're in the personal business, and you know them, and you have relationships all over town. I wonder what that's like for you.
Well, she does facials, you know, so sometimes when you're walking around and she looks at you, you go, "Easy." Top of my forehead there.
I know. Oh my gosh. You know, I can't go to the store or the gas station without someone saying, "Mimi, I'm going to come in tomorrow." There's no better feeling. You know, or Mimi, what do you think about this? You know, or people just want to come in and hang out and have a hot tea with us.
Sure.
To me, that's the essence. That's what it's all about.
It's like the old barbershop thing becomes a a community gathering place, and everybody comes in, not necessarily for the haircut, but for the social connection and to say hi and pass some news. There's a lot of gratification in that. I'm sure you experienced that.
Yeah, it's beyond my wildest dreams. I couldn't have ever imagined that I would be able to, to show up every day and create a space and get to serve the people here, because that's really what it is.
Yeah. It's more than a small business. It's a service to the community. That's Mimi Evangelista. She runs Mimi's Place Salon and Spa in Lanai. And our host today is Alberta DeJetley, of course, a journalist, a farmer, and a lady about town in Lanai who treats us with these great guests who are the portraits of Lanai. This is Think Tech. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
I'm Hong Jiang. I'm hosting Tuesdays Asia in Review at Think Tech Hawaii between 4 to 5 p.m. In my shows, we bring to you important issues and events in Asia, issues related to the culture, society, the environment, and history. We want you to be more connected to events happening in Asia and in the world. So see you there.
Aloha, I'm Maria Kashem of Think Tech Hawaii, and I want to tell you about our Think Tech talk shows. If you didn't know it, Think Tech streams video and audio for all of its shows live on the internet from 2 to 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon, and we replay them all night long on ustream.tv. Visit thinktechhawaii.com for our live stream and YouTube links. Raise your awareness on Think Tech. I'm Maria Kashem, and I'll see you there.
Okay, we're back. We're live. We're at Think Tech Talks, talking about community matters, talking about portraits of Lanai with our host in Lanai, Alberta DeJetley, and her guest, Mimi Evangelista, who has founded and runs Mimi's Place Salon and Spa, which sounds like a great place to be pampered. Makes you want to think that you want to go to Lanai and just be pampered for a little bit, enjoy Lanai in all its panoply and be pampered at Mimi's Place. What do you say, you guys? What do you say? That sounds very attractive to me. I'm going to tell my wife about it. We're going to have to see you soon.
Oh, you've been saying that for weeks. We were still waiting for you to show up. You've been telling me that for weeks, so I'll believe you when I see the whites of your eyes. How's that, Jay? But we don't want you to think that Mimi's Place is the begin and end all of the beauty role on Lanai, because we have 3,000 people, but we have three salons or beauty shops or hairdressers that serve the local community, and one of them is Nita DeGuai. She has Nita's in Style, and then we have Netta Raji, and she has Iron Images. And then we also have the spa down at the hotel. But the three, Mimi's, Netta, and Nita, really do a good job of serving the community. And you'd say, well, isn't that a little bit too much competition? It really isn't, because everybody has their favorite. I mean, actually, I go to all three of them.
Yes.
I have, Nita cuts my hair. Netta does my eyebrows. She does this. She's from originally Persia.
That's right.
So she does the threading with just a piece of string. She plucks all of your eyebrows and shapes them, and then Mimi does my nails. So I don't know if anybody else in London goes to all three, but all three of them are very, very good. And then we have a few people that cut hair just for their friends at home.
That's right. Yeah.
And then we have, the spa at Manili, but the spa is a little bit out of my budget. Yeah, but a few weeks ago I was in Honolulu and I had extra time before meeting up with you, Jade. So I went down to Chinatown and I got a manicure in Chinatown for $10, which I thought was absolutely amazing price.
Yeah.
And now I come home and I find out that Mimi's doing manicures over 65.
Yes.
So I qualify. So anybody watching this from Lanai, if you're over 65, you have to come to Mimi.
Yes, please.
Yes, please come to
Special. Absolutely.
I know we can do business, Mimi.
Yes.
One of the things about getting a business started on Lanai is Mimi had talked about the MEO grant. That was $1 million revolving grant program that was started, and MEO does it. Who helped you from MEO? Who was your account agent? Was it David?
David Daly, and I had originally the other guy, but I think she went to a different department. But David was just the absolute master in helping me with everything. They've been so good to me. Kulama, the night has been nothing but incredible. Just both those guys working together. It makes doing business, it makes being able to create, your dream come true, the business you crave, so easy because they show you, they help you, they work with you, because it's not always easy. You have less than 3,000 people to pull from. Yeah, you have your dream, and then you think, how do I make it work? So, you go through a little bit of trials and tribulations and struggles, and they worked with both of them. So, again, like I say, I'm always a work in progress, always trying to, how am I going to do this? How am I going to figure this out? And just show up every day. And I know that I can pick up the phone and call David at any time, or if I need to speak with anybody down the line, they're always willing to meet with me. So very gracious.
Yeah,
blessed.
Lokahi Pacific last year, Susie Thielen, who used to be on Oahu, is now on Maui with Lokahi Pacific.
Yes.
And she let out some grants.
Yeah, she did.
It was small grants. It was under 7,000.
Correct.
And it was really a simple grant to fill out. And a lot of people went in and they got things like you could go in and buy a piece of equipment, or you could do something to improve your business.
Yeah.
One man bought a lawnmower. Another man actually bought a used truck.
Yeah, upgrading, just
upgrading and adding. And then Maui County has the Office of Economic Opportunities under Tina Rasmussen in the mayor's office. They have been wonderful in helping companies or nonprofits move forward with things we need, because we are a small town, we're a small community, and our resources are really individually, it's limited. But when people like, single moms like you,
yes,
can come to Lanai and start a business, a successful business,
yes,
so you have enough to support your family,
yes.
I think it's wonderful. This is a great, great place to be. It's just a great place to live. And I wanted to ask you, what's your personal lifestyle like?
Well, I work most of the time, 6-7 days a week, but very family oriented, very church grounded. I love to exercise. I have a little dog. I call him my fourth son, Peanut. He's a Chihuahua Terrier. So Peanut and I, we try to go running or walking as much as we can. And when I walk is when I get all my ideas. That's when I go, I need to do that for my business. Or, I need to do, but that's my relaxing time. I'm kind of a type A personality anyway, so that's what takes me down a little bit. We go to the beach. I go hiking up in the mountains. To me, I enjoy the land because that's what it's about, really. When you live here, it's not about the shopping. It's not about, it's about the land and the people. So we have lots of dinners at my house, lots of barbecues, lots of get-togethers. Any opportunity we get to go singing or do something, karaoke we do. So very simple, sweet, beautiful, safe place to be.
And you have these events too at your shop, don't you?
We do. That has been one of our promos. Is we started doing events. We would do things for Mother's Day. We do things for Valentine's Day. We work a lot with Ken with the Jazz Festival.
That's Ken Martinez Burgermeister.
Yes.
Burgermeister. He does the Jazz Festival. He has a festival coming up this weekend.
Yes.
And, Maui and Oahu people, when you see or you hear about these festivals, we have the Pineapple Festival. We're going to be having the Lohaui Pineapple Festival.
Yes.
Will be the July 4th weekend. It's going to be 2 days, Friday and Saturday I think it's July 3rd and July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a Lohaui Festival. That's always in October. We have the Lanai thing. And then we have these wonderful jazz festivals.
Yes.
Ukulele Festival, Slack Key Festival. But when you see those being advertised, go online and look at Four Seasons, because staying at the Four Seasons is very expensive, but during those times, they do offer special Kama'aina rates. And it's such a treat to be here.
It is, and it's amazing that when they bring all these incredible artists, it's free to the
It's
people.
free.
I mean, we get to go to Coeli and listen to music all night and have cuckoos and coffee.
Okay.
It's incredible. And I get to host Benny Uwatake, Damon Pereira, we got to host before. This weekend we're actually hosting him on Saturday, Benny. He's going to be doing his jazz guitar with us, and we're going to have $1 a minute massages and mini manis and petties. So if you guys are watching it and you're here, come on by and say hello.
Well, I saw Benny at the, when the mayor gave his state of the county address on Maui.
Mm-hmm.
I was over there, so I went to it, and I was dressed up, of course, because it was fancy. I wasn't in my work boots. And Benny was there, and he looked at me and he said, "I've never seen you dressed up." So it was so funny. So he started telling people, every time I see Alberta, she's got on her work clothes and her work T-shirt. So we took a picture, and maybe one of these times I'll send it to you, Jay, so we can put it on the air. I will do 2 pictures.
You should do that. I mean, all these festivals. You guys have more festivals than we do here in Honolulu.
Yes.
Just another reason to go to Lanai. But we're going to take one last break now for a moment, and when we come back, I would like to sort of paint a picture of where Mimi's Place fits in the landscape of new businesses, a new wave of business activity, a new wave of small businesses in Lanai. And when I say that, I'm mindful of the fact that right now at the Capitol today, there's the Entrepreneur Day going on. And Entrepreneur Day is kind of a celebration of all these new businesses in Hawaii by young people who are a new wave, if you will, of local businesses going into every area you can imagine. And it sounds like Lanai has its own version of that. So when we come back, I wonder if we could talk about that and try to get the sea change of what's going on in that regard in Lanai. So that's Mimi Evangelista and Alberta DeJetley, our host on Lanai, and we're talking about portraits of Lanai. We're connecting by Skype to Alberta and Mimi, and we are broadcasting essentially from downtown Honolulu in Pioneer Plaza at the core of downtown. We'll take a minute more, then we'll be back with more of Beauty Under the Pines. Castle & Cooke, Hawaii. Investing in Hawaii, creating communities, and providing for the needs of our state. Collateral Analytics, empowering the real estate industry to make better informed property investment decisions. The Foreign Trade Zone, bringing the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone programs to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. Galen Ho, a senior executive of BAE Systems, a global defense, security, and aerospace company. Hawaiian Electric Company, and its affiliates Maui Electric and Hawaii Electric Light Company on Hawaii Island. The Hawaii Energy Policy Forum, incorporating diverse perspectives to design a flexible and forward-looking energy strategy. Hawaii Energy, the state's energy and efficiency program created to help Hawaii's residents and businesses adopt a clean energy lifestyle. Hawaii Gas, helping Hawaii achieve its transition to clean energy and a better energy future. Hawaii Pacific Health, bringing technology and teamwork together to transform healthcare in Hawaii. The High Tech Development Corporation, attached to DBED, is the state's leading technology agency. The Shidler Family Foundation, supporting educational, cultural, and charitable organizations, including... Okay, we're back. We're live. We're at Think Tech Talks on a given Wednesday, talking about community matters because they do, learning about portraits of Lanai, talking today about Beauty Under the Pines in Dole Square with Mimi Evangelista of Mimi's Place Salon and Spa, with our host in Lanai, Alberta DeJetley, farmer, journalist, and lady about town. Take it away for the final quarter of our show.
Gee, I just love that lady about town. It just makes it seem as if, it's so dashing. I just love it. When we were on our break, you wanted us to talk about how many more new businesses are coming into town. 5 years ago, I started Lanai Today, which is our community newspaper. And I think in my first issue, I had about 38 advertisers. And we put all of the advertisers, we have an advertising index, and we put the names of all of the people advertising into the index. And now, we average more than 55 ads. So there's some of them are small. We take ads as small as 4x1. And you're an advertiser in this.
Yes.
But we have had a lot of small businesses start up. A lot of new landscaping businesses. The juice bar, which we talked about last week.
Awesome.
Corey LeBang's store
Yes.
is a new business. She has a little storefront now. Who else is there now? Can you think of?
Let's see, who else do we have that's just opened? I'm just thinking of the staples that we have.
Oh, we have had some changes too, because like Lanai Western Adventure, they manage the Lanai Pine Sporting Clays, and they also are managing stables.
Yes.
So that's a new business to our community. We have a lot of Maui businesses that are coming over to Lanai too. They don't have a physical presence on Lanai, but their people are coming to Lanai 2 or 3 times a month, sometimes even more often.
Yes, that's awesome.
So it's good. Oh, Noka Oi Grinds. It took Naomi 4 years to get Noka Oi Grinds going, and she finally got, the permit process was really, really horrendous for her. So it took a long time. And then we, of course, Ohana Poke Place. Oh man, they've got some great publicity.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
Well, you guys, would you recommend to somebody, say, some young person wanted to start a business here in Oahu? Would you recommend that he come to Lanai, try to do it there? Is it a warm and loving environment for a new business, do you think?
Yes.
Only if you're already here. We have hundreds of people now because we're so much in the news now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to come to Lanai. There's no housing. Housing is at a premium. There's absolutely no housing for anyone coming over to Lanai. And commercial space within the town is still very, very limited. It's very, very difficult. You have to stand in line and do what Mimi did, is bang on doors, beg.
Yes.
Get on your hands and knees and beg.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult unless you're actually physically here already to create a new business on Lanai.
Yeah.
We have some new farms starting out by me, and right now all of the farm lots have been taken. They're all filled. None of them are really actually have product in the ground, produce in the ground, but they're trying. And I think eventually Pulama Lanai will open up more farm lots. They're developing Mickey Basin, and Mickey Basin will have some leasehold lots available. It's light industrial, so that's coming online. That would be really, really good. Robert Martinez has a food truck, a fancy big food truck.
Fantastic.
And he,
Saw that.
did you
Yes,
see that? It's really nice looking. He's going to be putting it down at the Manili Small Boat Harbor
Nice.
in the back parking lot area. He's not allowed to take it to Huluboy Beach Park because of the restrictions on that park. No commercial activities. And we're also going to be talking to Nick Palumbo, young Nick Palumbo. Nick has been working on his surfing business. He has a surf school, and he's been doing that for about 4 years.
Yes, awesome.
So he's another new business that has started in town within the last 5 or 6 years.
It's funny how, Lanai is a microcosm of the whole state somehow. I like to think that as Lanai goes, so goes Hawaii. And you guys have so much to teach us about the way communities should work. And I guess, the only thing comes to mind about that is it possible, you guys, that we'd have too much growth in this sector? Is it possible that too many businesses would start, and it would somehow, do some sort of, delicate balance, it would be disrupted in a fragile, small community? Where's the line on that?
Well, I think you have to look at our community plan, because overall on our community plan, Lanai has never been sustainable. We have never been able to afford ourselves. we have actually been the state's poor stepchild until, Mr. Ellison arrived, and all of a sudden, like, oh, well, yeah, Lanai's the place to be. So we're looking at growing our community. We need to up our population base to about 6,000 people. If we double our population, we can be self-sustaining. We can be economically viable. So people like Mimi will have a lot of business. Case in point on how things are changing. Richard's Market, which is owned by Pulama Lanai, is now open from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. And you go, what?
Yes.
This is a plantation town. Everything was closed on Sundays. The stores closed at 6 o'clock, and then they inched up to 7 o'clock. And now we have a store that's open to 9 o'clock. 10 years ago, if you had said that, oh, Richard's is going to be open until 9 o'clock. Whew.
Yeah.
Nobody would have believed that.
Sign of the times. It's
It is.
big city hours in Lanai. Well, Alberta, we're out of time. I'm sorry, but I look forward to our next one, which will be, in 2 weeks from today, right?
Yes.
And Mimi, thank you very much for joining us today. This was a great discussion. And I from what Alberta says, I think you ought to keep expanding, keep looking for additional staff, and keep your operation growing, because the island is growing. And that's Portraits of Lanai, Beauty Under the Pines, here on Think Tech Talks. Thank you so much, Mimi, and thank you, of course, Alberta.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Look forward to seeing you soon. Aloha.
See you next time. Bye.